Meghan Markle and Prince Harry may reveal more about their time with the royal family in the coming months. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were among several members of the royal family at Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral last week. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had been visiting Europe for a series of charity events when the late monarch's health started to deteriorate. Harry travelled to Scotland, where Her Majesty had been staying, to be by her side but did not arrive until after the news of her death had been confirmed to the world. It has now been reported that the prince was only informed of his grandmother's death at 6:25 p.m., over 3 hours after she had passed and minutes before Buckingham Palace publicly confirmed the news. King Charles III wanted to tell his younger son himself and only managed to contact Harry while he was in mid-air. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stayed in the UK for the Queen's funeral on September 19 but returned to the US the following day. Their visit came just days after the publication of Meghan's bombshell interview with New York-based magazine, The Cut, during which she made subtle digs at the royal family. Now, a former Meghan fan has blasted the couple for their repetitive remarks about the House of Windsor since they stepped down from in their roles as working royals. TV presenter Christo Forfas admitted to being Team Meghan when she first entered the royal fold but claimed her and Harry's continual whinging has made them more and more tasteless. Appearing on this week's episode of the Today for Daily podcast, Mr. Forfas said, "I was Team Meghan, I was on board with Meghan. But slowly but surely, the continual whinging, once they decided to leave the royal family, and the principle of them being this half-in, half-out arrangement." He continued, "And I find the dripping of stories that are there to deliberately undermine the royal family more and more tasteless. And I'm finding them as a couple more and more loathsome." Royal expert and host of the podcast, Kinsey Schofield, added, "It's very hard to justify what we're witnessing. I think that if they had moved to America and been quiet, built Archie and had a podcast ready to go and had Netflix content that they were beginning to shoot, I think Americans would be so excited to have them here and I don't think that the UK would be as resentful. But it's because they have repeatedly attacked the institution that helped build their platform." Ahead of the Queen's death, it had been revealed that Harry had finished working on his highly anticipated memoir, which was set to be released later this year. The book has been the subject of speculation since it was announced that the prince would be giving a wholly truthful account of his life so far. There have been concerns that the Duke may use the book to launch further attacks on members of his family, particularly his father, stepmother and brother. However, following the death of his grandmother, Harry may be looking to change some of the content, a decision that throws a spanner in the works, according to royal expert and author Robert Jobson. Speaking to the Australian morning show Sunrise this week, Mr. Jobson said, "As it's an autobiography and we know it's been penned by somebody else, but the fact is he's got to own every word, hasn't he? The narrative, whatever way you look at it, if people disagree then you've got a problem because it's going to be down as the narrative for William and his father. He's not even done the Diana, her true story, because she could say it was written by Andrew Morton. This was written by him. I don't know if he can dampen it down, because if does then the amount of money he's been paid, the publishers might turn around and say, we don't want to pay you the rest." It is understood that Harry has received £17.5 million of the £35 million deal he signed with Penguin Random House last year. Meghan Markle believed she was going to be the Queen Bee of the British royal family after marrying Prince Harry.